Hey guys, it's me. It's been so long since I've got on here and did a video, but I just decided to get on here and chat just a few seconds or just a few moments or whatever. I ain't gonna take up too much of y'all's time. It is Father's Day. I hope you guys are having a happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. The weather is gorgeous here in Ohio. Okay, we've been having some hot as fuck weather, okay, you know, uncomfortably hot, like humid and shit, and I hate that. But today is like perfect. It's like comfortable, you know. Let me put my phone down because I don't want these other people seeing my phone. You know, people see your phone now, they assume you ain't paying attention. They get the honking their horns and shit. I ain't got time for that. But anyway, so I wanted to get on here and chat real quick. I'm on my way to Dayton to see my father, spend time with my father on this Father's Day. But anyway, I wanted to talk about real quick how I was just thinking, you know how you be driving, you be thinking and shit, and stuff just come to your mind or whatever. And I was just thinking, I said I wanted to talk about this real quick. I realized that in life, I'm starting to feel like when I have low expectations for people, it's like the better the turnout. But when I have expectations for people, it's like you get disappointed. But it's like, is it? I was once told when I was younger that, you know what? I should talk about this on my podcast, y'all. If you ain't already following Conversations with Miss Marcie, go on to Spotify or Google Podcasts or iHeart or, you know, Apple Podcasts, wherever your podcasts are, and go download and listen to Conversations with Miss Marcie. So anyway, I'm like, is that a bad thing? Because I was once told that, you know, you should have expectations for people. But as I maneuver through this thing called life, and why do we always say that? We always say this thing called life. But anyway, as I maneuver through this thing called life and I, you know, deal with people, you know, I just learned that I'm better off when I don't have expectations for people. And I notice, like, when I don't have expectations, I keep my expectations low, people surprise you and you be like, wow, I didn't expect that, and it'd be a great surprise. But when you have expectations, people let you down and they disappoint you. You be like, damn, I didn't expect that from him. I didn't expect that from her. You know, I thought me and him was better than that. I thought me and her were better than that. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's what I'm learning. And I was thinking about a person that I know. There's this guy that I know, and he and I we have been friends for about maybe like 5 years or whatever. And this past year, you know, I haven't talked to him in a long time because I kind of decided to kind of, you know, just kind of like fall back from the friendship or whatever, because I didn't like how he was moving in some ways. It were some things that, like I said, I felt disappointed because we had been friends, and I'm like, you know, there were like lies being told about a couple of things, and I just felt the way. Like, and you know how when somebody lying and you know for a fact they're lying, and then when you try to address it, they still lie. And you know, that type of shit doesn't sit well with me, because you know, I try to value my friendships, the few friendships that I have, because I don't really have a lot of friends anymore, because I don't, you know, the older you get too, you learn the smaller your circle gets too. So I don't really have like too many friends, but he was one of my friends, and I actually thought of him as being more of a person with more of integrity and things like that. But when a certain situation came up and I asked him about it, and he chose to lie, and that really just kind of like, it just really turned me off. Like, ugh, like, you know, and and it also made me feel like, damn, you know, people, it's hard to be vulnerable with people, and it's hard to be honest with people. But a friend of mine, we were talking yesterday, and she said, you know, regardless of what people do, you got to be you know, because I was telling her, I was like, you know, situations like that made me feel like, you know, fuck being honest with people. You know, I'll just be honest with people who I feel deserve my honesty, because I'm a big communicator. I'm big on communication, and I'm big on, you know, getting it off your chest and letting people know how you feel, because I feel like in true friendships, that's how you get to, you know, those places of having a bomb-ass relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, romantic, whatever, just a friend to friend, even with family members. I feel like you don't get to a place of having an outstanding, healthy, because I always say I'm all about healthy relationships. You don't get to that place by keeping your mouth shut and keeping shit to yourself and low-key harboring ill feelings or resentment towards people. You get to that place of a healthy relationship by exposing, and and when I say exposing, I mean exposing how you really feel, getting it off your chest, so you guys can move on. And I was told that, you tell a person how you feel instead of being prideful, because I've gotten to a place where I've become more prideful. I've become more prideful about my feelings, like more prideful and more just I don't want to say secretive about my feelings, but I've become more guarded, I'm less open to express myself. So my friend, she was telling me, like, you gotta, let it be known how you feel to your friend. If it's your friend, you should be able to tell your friend how you feel without that person, judging you or making you feel like you weak just because you exposing how you feel. And she was just saying, like, you got to give them the chance to show you what kind of friend they are. And somebody else told me that too. Like, you got to get stuff off your chest to people and then give them the opportunity to show you if they are a good friend. Because a good friend, a real friend, when you express how, they're making you, like, if they do something to offend you or whatever, if somebody do something to offend you, you should, or whatever, to offend you or make you feel away, whatever the fuck, you should be able to tell that person, and then they, as a friend, should be able to see you and see, your feelings and say, you know what, friend, my fault. I didn't mean to make you feel like that. But if somebody take what you say and be like, oh, you need to lighten up, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even mean it like that. Or, I don't agree with you, you know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, you can't tell me how I'm experiencing you. You know what I'm saying? Just like I can't tell somebody how they're experiencing me. If somebody come to me and say, Marcie, you said this and that kind of made me feel away, or I felt like you was doing this, XYZ, you got to communicate, and if I say to that person, well, I disagree with you, and I think you just on some bullshit, and F you, if you didn't like the way I said it, then fuck you. That ain't how you do it. That ain't how you handle nobody's feelings. That's not how you do that. That ain't how you do that there, So for me, the guy that I'm talking about, I felt like he mishandled my feelings, and I became too prideful to even tell him how I felt, because I felt like if I could tell him this, when I confronted him about the situation and he still lied about it, I'm like, damn, if I can ask him about this and he's lying, I'm like, this is like a joke to him. Like, he don't give a fuck about my feelings. So from that point, I decided, well, I won't share nothing else with him. And eventually I ended up walking away from that friendship, and we haven't talked in about a year. And in our friendship of 5 years, we have never gone a year without talking. We've never gone that long without talking. So again, like I said, I felt the way, but here's what I learned too. Walking away really didn't help either, because now it's like it's resurfacing, because he's been crossing my mind lately, and I'm like, well, damn, I wonder how he's doing and stuff like that. So I'm like, I wonder how he's doing.
And they kill it, and they sell so many houses, and I'm like rooting them on from
my fault. So I'm like, I wonder how he's doing and things like that. And, but I'm like, yeah, pride is a motherfucker. Pride and ego, So my point is, first of all, we got to be careful how we handle one another, how we handle each other's feelings. And just because somebody's coming to you and they're being honest about their feelings, it don't make them weak. Actually, it makes them strong, because it takes a lot to, expose yourself like that. And I feel like if somebody's coming to you and they're telling you how they feel, that means they really care about the friendship, and they're telling you because they want to resolve the issue. You can't be so fucking arrogant and act like, they're tripping or whatever, or you don't do no wrong. Like, no, you got to be accountable for your shit. But yeah, so, and like I said, in turn, it just made me feel like, well, maybe I just won't have high expectations for people. Fuck it. But that ain't, what I'm saying? You should expect you should be able to expect somebody to, when it comes to your feelings, you should expect that. But I do feel like having lower expectations is the best way to go. Except, like I said, when it comes to your feelings, like when it comes to, but expecting people to do things, or don't do that. Don't do that. But when it comes to expecting somebody to value your feelings and value how the fuck you say you feeling, then you should be able to do that. With a real friend, you can. So that's all I want to talk about real quick, y'all. Let me get my eyes back on this road, okay? So, all right, y'all. Have a good day. Peace.